have you got?
Jukes. I see someone, but I don't think they're alive.
This house is clean.
Jumpy.
Another dead zone. The only thing alive in here is the smell.
They're not coming back.
Well, if you're gonna ride out the apocalypse, no better way to do it than with some castles and crusades.
Hey, you too. Take only what you need.
Chenault Games. Join the fray.
You're live, sir.
Sweet! It is August 6th, 2024. We are back from Gen Con and streaming again. Chuck and I debated briefly while I was at Gen Con whether we were going to stream, but it looks good. We are on Instagram Live. Chuck was just showing me. So we have spread our wings a little bit further, whatever that means. But the whole Gen Con thing, it became too much of a hassle to get me to figure out how to work my phone properly. So we just abandoned the whole thing. So, thank you, Sparky. Piper Dog's in here. Anchor, hello, everybody.
Oh, that reminds me, Eric's here, which means we need to get together tomorrow and mail some shit out.
It's piled in there.
Well, can we do that tomorrow? Can we walk? Can I?
Yes, it sounds like a job for Dakota.
That's perfect. I love this.
You can remove me from that equation.
Yes, even better. All right.
Yes, much better. How's everybody doing today? I'm Stephen Chenault, CEO of Chenault Games. And if you have any questions, throw them out in the chat and we will do our best to tackle them. We are fresh from Gen Con and diving right back into work. This landed on my desk today. This is the Amazing Adventures Player's Handbook. And it's the final edits. Those will go in tomorrow, and that book will go to the printers on Thursday.
That's right, folks. No more hardback books at Chenault Games. We're just going to do soft cover from here on out. I'm joking.
This is our preview copy that Finn, the editor, gets. We make it in our own shop.
That's awesome. And that's actually really good. I had no idea you could print one that big.
Yeah, it's nice. We can go up to about 400 pages in the shop. And now that we have Dakota on board, I've given him instructions to get in there and figure out all this stuff that we have not been doing since Mark left, because Mark could do all kinds of stuff, which included pocketbooks, not like a woman's pocketbook, but a pocket digest size book. There you go. Gen Con all day at the booth, run a game, and eat steak and shake at 1 a.m. There you go. Sparky says, I'm good. Just saw Deadpool, and I'm getting my fiber optic. Sweet for the fiber optics. I'm going to have to go see Deadpool. I'd kind of written the Marvel movies off, but I'm hearing such good things about Deadpool that I'm going to have to go.
I watched it in Discord last week. Don't ask any questions. But anyway, someone showed up with a copy of it. And I'm telling you, it's pretty damn funny.
Well, Davis said he laughed constantly. So
It's good. It's good.
So I'm on deck.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is GM Kenny Yeager says, it's been a long month already. Today started with canning peaches at 5 a.m. before starting work just after 8. Forgot it was stream day. It went away. Forgot it was stream day and couldn't be happier for the pick me up to get me through the rest of the work day. Excellent, GM. That is badass about canning peaches. My wife, Kathy, she's kind of dove into doing stuff like that. Going back to our youth, I suppose. She's made laundry detergent. She's made, dishwasher detergent. What else did she make the other day? Some other concoction. I can't remember what. And she's been talking about the whole canning thing recently. So coming to a troll lord near you. And what's really cool, on Friday, I don't know what time, but Grace, our very own Grace, is going to interview Kathy, my wife, for the Journal. For those of you who know, over on our YouTube channel, Grace has interviewed everybody in the company and put it up. What's it called, Chuck? The Journal, Journals I found, or something?
I found a journal.
I found a journal, Steve Chenault. I found a journal, Chuck Gumbo. I found a journal, David Chenault. And she's going to interview Kathy. So
you find a journal. I'm going to actually drop a link to the playlist in there.
Okay, there you go. They're very, very interesting because we don't really talk about, Troller games. Just talk about stuff. Just stuff. I forget. Yesterday was a work day and was a zombie when it was time to run CNC and not be a battery up. That happens all the time. I get so tired sometimes game night. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
Game night?
This week, my wife, 50 pounds, canned a solid 150 pounds of that, and that's probably conservative. Wow. That's a lot. That's good, though. It's a good skill to have. We used to have, when I was a kid, my mom did quite a bit of that. I've never actually done it myself. I remember, what do you do with peas? You shuck peas? Is that what you do when you break them in half? And I can't. It's been too long. It has been too long. Question: with the removal of the OGL stuff, this is coming from the Omega Gambit. Question with the removal of the OGL stuff from CNC Reforged, will there be changes to the writing guidelines and/or style guide for submissions? Yeah, we've got to go in and fix the legal on the download on our page, and we've got to fix those writer guidelines to kind of help folks move along. And we'll give you a sample stat block. It's real easy. It's all very, very easy. And nothing changes so egregiously that it's impossible. But yeah, we'll get all of that changed. It's on the list of things to be done. There's obviously we've got to get this log jam, and we're making great progress on unjamming this log jam of the 5 books, the 2 Amazing Adventures books, and the 3 CNC books. Once that's done, it'll allow us a little bit more mental space. And for those who don't know, we just brought on Dakota McMurray. He's joined us. I guess he joined us last Thursday. Was his first full day? No, Wednesday? No, Tuesday. Last Tuesday was his first full day, and he went immediately to Gen Con. Today, he came in today, and he's cleaning out his what's going to be his office and setting all that stuff up, and that will help speed things up even more as he takes over the print shop, the mail room, the warehousing, and all of that stuff. Logistics manager, as Jeremy titled him.
Oh God! So what I'm hearing is the production assistant. His name's Kevin.
Right.
That is not even the correct. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Dakota asked me, "Well, what's my title?" And I said, "Printer? I don't know. Guy out the window, whatever." I don't really. The only reason I call myself CEO of Troller Games is because on all the tax forms that I have to fill out, manager is longer than CEO. My wife figured out if you write CEO, it's faster and easier. So I made myself a CEO. I don't know. There's everybody around here wears so many hats.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Chuck knows the drill. Everybody knows. I mean, the range of questions I asked Jason Bay yesterday were nothing short of, I asked him if he could read sheet music. Then I asked him if he could design a joust game. Then I asked him, what was the other question? Something about a guitar. It was just and I actually said to him, I said, this is just the stupidest litany of questions I've ever asked someone in a row. But that's just kind of, everyone around here wears a.
I'll talk to you about it after stream. I have a line on that game if you're curious to hear from what I got to say.
I am vaguely curious because I haven't mentioned that game to anyone in 10 years. So I'm not sure how you have a line on that game.
I'm talking about the jousting game.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned that to anyone in a decade. So I'm not sure how you have a line on it.
Well, I'll tell you, you may not find any interest in it. I know someone who made one. So.
Got it. The favorite part of my Gen Con was rolling natural 20, attempting to turn the big baddie with an HCL. I was level 2 at the end of it. That is very, very cool. Time to go grab burgers. Excellent spaghetti. You enjoy that burger. I got spaghetti hanging, not hanging, but spaghetti in my very, very near future.
Spaghetti.
Which is very good. I'm a big fan of spaghetti. I see. Hey, whatever happened to Jason Alexander? He was always involved at the cons back in the day. So Jason, Break Daddy, as some of you may know him on the message boards, he pops in about once every 6 months or so. He and I go have lunch or hang out or yak on the phone or whatever. He's got, he's gone into a whole career thing and he's doing his whole thing. He works, last I talked to him, I'm pretty sure he still works for Dell. So I think I think Dell just laid off 12,000 people today. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's still around. Good people. All the trolls still around. That's the Donkey Juice. Is there any plans to change the way multi-class works? It is now just seems unplayable compared to single class and class and a half with getting the same hit points, level bonus, and BTH for more than double the XP. No, there is no change. There is no plans to change that, Donkey. That is going to stay as is. So I would go with the class and a half if that's where you find yourself most comfortable. I've never been a fan of multi-classing. I think it slows down games. Better to instead of multi-classing, I would recommend you do sit down with your CK and do what Mac did. Mac started in the game we've been running for a while. Mac started out as a ranger, made it to 3rd level. He got tired of his rangers. Then he became a knight, and he just took for his next ability. He took a knight-like ability. He did that to he was 9th level. Then he switched to Bardic for a couple of levels. So he took a couple of Bardic abilities. So his characters just evolved over time into this kind of amalgam of multiple characters. And and I worked with him, and Mac was always very, very easy, very good about keeping it balanced. So that's the way I would rather.
And that's the beauty of the Siege engine, that you're able to do that. We don't have all these constraining rules and everything. Actually, you can't break it. You really can't. Because I remember the first time you told me that, and I was like, "What?" Years ago. Yeah. And I thought, and then I got thinking about it, and I thought, I've done the same thing. I've had players at my table that find some ability that they wanted, and of course their character didn't have it. And I said, well, if you want to try to learn that skill, I made it expensive on them. They had to spend so long to train, and then it worked out. So
and there's no reason to not play it that way. That's the nice thing about CNC. For me, you go in, if you don't want to mess with that Rollmaster type stuff, the type where you have to kind of shop for all of your abilities, you can just play what you have, and that's what I do. That's what I infinitely prefer to do. But you take someone like Mac who wants to kind of shop around a little bit and expand and go in different directions as he changes his idea of who the character is and all that stuff. You can do that too. And it doesn't break the game in any way, shape, or form. You got to balance it a little bit, but that's what the CK's job is. That's what those CKs are supposed to do. That is a system from first AD&D, basically. Been using it for 48 years. It works. Classes are tight specializations. Being a double specialist is hard. Let's see. Question: Has there been a TLG presence, booth, and or organized games in any Southern California conventions that you can recall? Yes, we went to a number of conventions. Only one. Do what?
Wasn't it KublaCon, the big one?
We went to KublaCon, PacificCon, but those are up in San Francisco. We did LA Gen Con one year, and Davis flew out for another small con and convention. So that would have been for a convention. That was about 2005. I'm not sure. I don't remember when Gen Con, what do they call it? They call it Gen Con something. Gen Con West or Gen Con California.
I remember that. Something like that. It was weird.
Something. They only did it 1 year, I think.
I was looking at a con last night, actually, Steve, thinking about what we were talking about, Flying Dakota. Because if I was going to pick anywhere, it would probably be out to San Diego or somewhere for a huge con,
Yeah. But,
for a while, you know what I'm saying?
PacificCon would be a good one.
That's the one I was looking at.
Yeah, the guy, there's a guy, one of the guys who owns it. I know all of the owners, but one of the guys who has a heavy ownership in it is a very, 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 very close friend of mine. So we could probably get some.
Oh, I know exactly. I forgot that. Totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Aldo has it down.
We need to
Gen
think.
Con
We
West,
need. We definitely need to think about that. And also, just so you know, I've been every once in a while sponsoring a con that runs in Hawaii. Just so you know, I've kept that door open for us.
Hawaii is awesome. It's a great place to
I've
visit.
never been,
Absolutely.
so I'm hoping the company will take me one of these days.
I was stationed there in the Army, so I spent 2 years there, a little over 2 years.
That's right.
It was awesome. It got a little boring. I have to admit.
Well, for 2 years, I would imagine, but I'm sure for the initial 6 months, you were like, "Yeah, this is great." You know?
Yeah, it was something else. Weather's always the same. Temperature's always the same.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Schofield Barracks. What quad was I in? I would have been E quad, I think. A, B, C, D, E. I believe I was in E quad, 25th Transportation Company attached to the 45th Support Group, supporting 25th Infantry Division. And good times, good times. Were you out there, Asher? Did you go to Schofield? I said, we can go to the Hawaii, Chuck, and find me a gun. There you go. Yeah, I was a veteran of the Hawaiian
Theater.
So my army stint was it doesn't get better. Okay, so the Gulf War breaks out. I joined the army. I wanted to be an airborne. I wanted to be an infantry, but I wanted to be airborne. So they got me into the only slot that was open to get me in quick was for a combat signaler, which is generally attached to combat units. So I did all that crap, and I go to jump school. Well, before I even got to jump school, when I was in AIT, which is for those who don't know, the Army, that's your advanced infantry training. 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, whatever. The war ended. Saddam Hussein surrendered. War's over. Everything goes back to normal. But I've still got years on my stint, and I do what?
What were you doing when it started over there? Remember when they had old Wolf Blitzer out there reporting the rockets and all that?
Yeah. I was watching the news. I was watching the news, but one of the reasons I joined up, as soon as we began to deploy, I was taking a bath and I was reading the Commercial Appeal, the newspaper that I read in those days. Yeah. And I think the 82nd was going out there, and I thought, I can't sit in this bathtub while these boys are going out there to fight. So I immediately got out of the bathtub, went down and joined the Army.
I was making pizza whenever it happened.
Oh, very cool. But anyway, so I did my AIT, and I go to jump school, and there's 400 and something people who graduate my jump school. I assumed, like everyone would assume, that I would be going to the 82nd Airborne Division, but I did not. There were 2 of us that were stationed in Hawaii, so I got to Hawaii. When I got to Hawaii, I had no orders, so I show up at the replacement battalion at Fort Shafter, and they didn't know who I was or where I was. Yeah, I did jump school at Fort Benning. It's changed. It's not Fort Benning anymore. It's something else. So for 5 weeks, I sat in that replacement battalion, and no one had any idea I was even there. Every morning I had to fall into formation for I think at 7:30 or something like that, and then I was done for the day. So for 5 weeks, I just wandered around Honolulu, Ala Moana Beach, Waimea Bay, just poking around. It was, and then I spent the next 2 years in Hawaii doing the combat signaler stuff. Fort Moore, that's what it's called now. But it was interesting. It was interesting.
A couple comments and a couple questions for you. First off, let's see, where was it here? Vic Danger says, I signed up for my events at page 2. I've got Chuck DMing on Friday morning and Steve DMing in the afternoon. Looking forward to some gruesome deaths. So, Vic, they've got them open for you can actually, I didn't realize they had it open. You could actually go in and pick your events. That's interesting. Good deal. I can't wait to see you, buddy. Okay, yeah, Johnny Yamaha, he's asked this twice already. What was your favorite part of the convention, Steve?
Gen Con.
Yeah.
Is that, I assume that's the convention.
Yes,
hey, Chuck, I don't know if you want to put this up, but I put a picture of me in our chat when I'm on the beaches in Hawaii.
Wow, you haven't aged much at all, dude. That's great.
long time ago. Favorite part of the convention. Interesting. So this year I didn't run the booth at all. The crew, Dakota, Grace, and crew ran the booth, so I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I mean, I sat in the booth a lot and answered questions if people want to talk to her or whatever. I have to say, I think that, and this is, oh, it's kind of sad, but the best part of the convention to me was when I took. So when we used to go to Gen Con all the time, there is a bar called the Wild Beaver, and it's right off right off from the convention there. And Davis and myself and a whole bunch of the TLG crew, Break a Daddy and McBain, would go to the Wild Beaver and just partake of youth. And it was nice that I took the kids. That's what I call these young people working for Troller Games. I took the kids to the old stomping grounds. And there's a picture. If you go to my Facebook page, you can see it. There's a picture of me and Davis and some of the old crew, and then me and this young crew. And while I was sitting there on the bar stool, and of course I'm drinking water because I'm the designated driver. But as I was sitting there watching everyone, there was karaoke, singing, and just having a great time. It was this really strange, 17 years ago that picture that I was in was taken. I don't know. It was really kind of cool. This really surreal moment that juxtaposed the two. What?
Are you talking about the picture of y'all at the bar?
Yeah.
Where you're the designated driver with a fucking pint of Guinness in your hand? Bullshit.
Well,
I'm calling bullshit.
The other picture with me with the kids.
Oh, well, that didn't look like they were even drinking, man. That's not drinking.
They were all, Dakota had like 10 gin and tonics.
Oh, that's more like it then. Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and
right.
they were all drinking beer and whatnot, but I had just a glass of water. If you go to my Facebook page, you can scroll down, you'll see the pictures.
Fair enough, then. I was a little concerned with that statement. I thought, I don't know. We're going to be honest with our fans here.
I'm the designated driver with a pint of Guinness. All right.
All right, here's a picture of you, son. There you go. Look at that.
Is that
Look
me
at
in the
that.
yard?
I guess that you said it was you. I'm not 100% sure,
yes,
but
my aviators.
You look like fucking. You're ready for fucking. What is it? Fucking the fucking Navy jet movie. What is it? With Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If you had a motorcycle behind you, I swear to God, it would be perfect.
He's going to the danger zone. That's a great song. That music has always changed with the movie Archer because Archers always say it, and I'm going into the danger zone.
Let's see. Piper Dog says my favorite part of Gen Con was going home because it was so overwhelming. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, it's exhausting. It is exhausting.
We have another question.
The hardest part. Lana, yeah, GM Kenny knows what I'm talking about.
We have another question over on Instagram from Dungeons Foul. How would a professional illustrator go about presenting their work to Trollord Games?
Please send it to product support at trollord.com. Grace will talk to you first, and then she'll send it on to Davis.
Oh no!
And we'll go from there.
The bot.
Chuck broke something, but he'll
I
fix
didn't
it
break
here tomorrow.
shit. It does this. It literally. I swear to God, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna click on a button to turn it back on, even though I didn't turn it off.
It's always something. But yeah, absolutely. Send that to us to product support at trollord.com. Yeah, and we'll give you. We got some work we need done right now. So Chuck, what's the next question?
I think we're caught up for now. Well, I can't really tell, to be honest with you. Here's the email it came in. Let's try this one more time.
I thought I saw a question roll through.
Oh my God!
There it is. To something more correct, when and how do you start with role playing and the voice voice the same question? Odd one, man. I don't really use voices. I don't change my voice when I'm role playing. I will role play at the table, whether I'm a character or a CK, but I rarely do voices. I just can't. I mean, some people are very, very good at it. I'm just not. And I don't know, a little bit self-conscious, I suppose. But yeah, I don't role play with the voices, but I do role play quite a bit. So for whatever that's worth. I have one voice, yes, Tyler, that is about it. Of course, the one with no face. Wait, not Veep. You typed that too fast. Veep Hove. What's he trying to say, Chuck?
What did Alman say? Is there something more correct here when you start with role playing and the voice the same question? Oh, sure. Voice is me. I got it now. Okay.
Chuck. Okay.
I got you, man. So what was the question again?
You bet, Chuck.
When and how did you start with role playing in the voice? Oh, okay. All right. You go first, Steve.
Oh, so what's the question? When did I
When
start?
did you start role playing? Yeah, when did you start playing?
Oh, games in general.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's yeah. So 1975. So Davis got the little brown books from my mom, from a soldier that gave them to her, and he got them for Christmas or his birthday. I can't remember which. Both are in December. And about 6 months after that, he figured out what this mess was. So sometime in 1975, he made me up 6 or 7 characters. All I had to do was name them. I named the first one Tarzan, and then the rest are named after members of Tarzan's ape tribe. And then I started proceeding to role play after that, and I've played ever since, nonstop. Chuck, when did you get started?
I started the same time you did. I basically, my best friend was walking down the road, and I'll never forget. I ran up to him, and we weren't even we were in middle school or whatever. We weren't even in high school. Well, maybe high school. I don't know. That was
I was like 9.
Yeah,
so
we were young, so we were, I guess, whatever. But anyway, I was chasing him down the road, and I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm gonna go play this new game that's out." And I was like, "New game?" So I went with him, and we became crack addicts that day, and that was the end of it right there. Been playing ever since. He still plays in my games. Good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that picture, I don't know if you have that picture still up.
Yeah.
If you look to my right, that person in that blue hat, that's Mac.
Are you kidding me?
That is Mac Golden sitting on. Yep.
God, he got ugly when he got older, didn't he? My God. No, he's not even here.
I'm not sure. We're in Waikiki Beach because that's the volcano.
Was he in the military with you? I don't understand the connection.
No. He and Todd came over for like 10 days and hung
out. Oh, okay. So they're probably there. Todd's probably somewhere fighting a bull or something, wrestling.
Todd would be taking the picture.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that too. I hadn't thought about
that. Yeah. No selfies in those days. Matt Golden is, man. Yes, Willie. Yes, he is.
How old is Chuck?
I have convinced Mac to join Grace in an interview, so we will
see
Mac.
That needs to happen.
Yes. Yeah. Mac is a gigantic part of this company. So.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which,
Chuck is like Keith Richards. Jesus. I'm 31. Damn it! Come on.
Yeah, Darth, that's about right. What is that point called? Right there with the crater in the background, and on the other side of that is the more famous beach. I didn't actually like Waikiki that much. I would go down there, whatever, poke around a little bit. But there's one beach near Waikiki called Ala Moana that I really, really liked. It was right next to the mall, but no one ever went to it. So it was downtown and quiet. But the North Shore, obviously. Everybody goes to the North Shore. But I liked Waimea Bay quite a bit. Spent 3 years in Schofield D quad. I was one quad over. Robert, I was in E quad. I'm pretty sure I was in E quad. Might have been D, but I'm like 90% certain it was E quad with the 25th Transportation Company, the 45th Support Group. If you have dice that are more than 31, yes, we all do. There you go. Todd and Matt came to visit Steve in the Hawaiian Theater. That sounds like an episode from Gomer Pyle. Just about. I love this crowd. I don't feel so freaking old. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, this convention was so funny. This Gen Con that we just came back from, because none of the old crew came. It was just me. And then everybody else was under the age of 28, I think. And so it was, I don't know. It's just funny. And it's cool to watch them having so much fun when they went out, doing the do and all of that stuff. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed hanging out with all of them. Good trolls, good troll lords. My PF2E group and alien groups. I am the grandpa of the group. Yeah.
Did you catch Robert T's comment? He said he spent 3 years on Schofield D quad on YouTube.
I'm like 90% certain I was on E quad, one quad over from him.
Okay.
So because it went, Robert, it went like you had A, B, C, D, E, F. Am I remembering that correct? It's been so long since I was there. And I was in either E or F. I think it was E. A quad was military intelligence. B and C quad, I think, was the 25th ID. I can't. It's just been too long. Shakespeare.
Odd Man's got another question. He says, "Why did you start? Why did you start to make your own game? What made you start all this? How did this happen?"
So to be very clear to everybody, who is this that asked this question?
Odd Man.
Odd Man, to be very clear, I didn't create Castles and Crusades. I've written a lot of stuff for CNC, but the game was created by Matt Golden and Davis Chenault. Davis is my brother. Mac is, I've known Mac since we were knee high to a jumping frog. What kind of motivated us to do the game itself? Mac and Davis were just chomping at the bit to create a game. They knew I wasn't happy with D20 selling it anyways. It's a great game, but I just wasn't happy, making D20 stuff. The stat blocks alone I found to be too onerous. Those two kind of motivations. Then Gary contacted us and say, "Hey, I need a game for Castle Zagging," and that just kind of threw all of the fuel on the fire. And I said, "Hey, let's do it." And we knew the D20 stuff was going to burst. So I think that just really the driving impetus was to get something that we were more enthusiastic about. And Castles and Crusades is, whatever went on in Mac and Davis's head, they made a fantastic game. And as soon as I started playing it, it was just awesome. So that's what kind of led into that whole shebang. Let's see how long this lasts today. There's no telling. We should end at 5:30. I got spaghetti on the line there, Colonel Kane. So
he's talking more about him because he has problems with the internet. He's always having issues with it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I feel bad for
right,
him.
yeah.
He don't never know. He shows up and goes as long as he can.
Yes, you were, Peter. Peter started working with us about a year before CNC came out, and the very first CNC material was all Peter Bradley art. The covers of the books. Do I have those little bitty books? I got
2002. Look at that shit. Yeah, legitimacy.
Yep. Yeah, awesome. He's been around forever and a day.
That is awesome.
No, I don't have them in the desk, Peter. I thought I did. I got all these old books. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Good times. Good times. I don't know what all this crap is. Dakota gutted the print shop today, so he's throwing stuff away right and left.
Good. He's already well on his way to making things great.
Yep.
It's good.
Yep. Nope, I do not have the original white box in my.
You've got one somewhere around there because you've pulled it out before.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, for them crazy kids grabbing your shit. You know how it is.
Who knows? What's the little goblin gnome from Harry Potter, the one that dies?
Dobby.
He eats a sock.
Dobby needs sock.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he eats the sock and dies or something.
Right.
What happens? Yeah.
Dobby likes CNC.
Yeah, there. We need to break out those Jason Bay. You remember he did the Christian Slater, Christopher Walken doing CNC.
You know.
Oh, he's got a great.
Castles and Crusades.
Why and how? I saw a question and it just rolled away.
No, it's why and how is CNC better than other games? I know it is an opinion, but I want your thinking of why it is best.
So I'm just going to say this. It's not an opinion. It's just better. And the reason it's better is because it's more malleable it's more malleable than any other system. It's got a good solid rock that it stands upon. And beyond that, you can play any way that you want to play this game. If you want to role playing, you can do it without any kind of hiccup. If you want to add a whole bunch of stuff to it, you can do that. If you want grim or gritty or whatever, it's whatever style of play that you want to play. You can take Castles and Crusades using the Siege Engine and play that style without any kind of hiccup. And I think at the end of the day, the more I look at it, and there's a bunch of fantastic systems out there that are wonderful. But when I look at the gaming community, the community of gamers, and you can look at the people in this room and the people over on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube that are watching this show right now, how many people are viewing this show at the moment? Is it like
it's kind of
150?
I don't know. We've got
let's just say
there's like 122. Looks like right now.
Yeah, it's 52 here, but Dark Paladin, we got them, and it doesn't reflect who's watching on Twitter and all that stuff. With 122 people watching right now, there's probably 122 gaming styles, and I think that when it boils down to it, we all have this drive and this need to be kind of imaginative and to kind of stretch our own wings, and CNC does that. I mean, it gives you those tools without any kind of hiccup. Oddman follows up. How do you like to play CNC? Also, the faceless one.
Is that my new name now? The faceless one. It's kind of cool, actually.
You didn't like the name I gave you.
No, then
I won't say it.
I dare say you wouldn't like it either. So there, Smarty.
I don't know. You
No.
you know, Chuck, you like to watch over. It's good.
Overwatch is a better term for me. Overwatch. That's what it is. Fucking Overwatch. That's my name.
Overwatch.
How do you like to play? How do I like to play CNC?
Well, you know, I like to play. I don't really like to do it online. I like to do it at the table with everybody there.
Oh, I see what you're
Music
saying.
going on in the background, and then we just dive into it. And my games are generally speaking a little bit harder, with a heavy dose of role playing and a lot of mythology in it. Quite a bit of death. Loss.
The faces one sounds like one of the old gods. Oh my God, this channel, man. I love this community. It's fucking great.
Yeah, that was the old days, Dardian.
Let's see. So Screaming Biscuit says, I've been playing CNC for 3 weekends in a row with my long D&D group around the Darkenfold, and it feels so dangerous and interesting. But you still have the threat that you could die and no idea what's coming. That's great. I like that summation. It's great.
I did an interview at Gen Con with someone doing a documentary, and he asked one of the questions was, what does the old school bring to new players? And that's what I told him.
Yeah.
The old school of gaming brings the threat of loss and death, which, and you obviously don't want to overstate it, but it brings a certain anxiety to the table that creates this real feeling. I mean, because it's just a little bit harder.
Okay. So
did it post?
I
I don't know if it posted. Oh, I did too. That I know which one you're talking about. There was another one I did. Yeah.
So what I was going to say was, for me, Odd Man, I like to play it anywhere, anytime, with anybody. I'm fast and loose with it, kind of crazy. I play it online on the weekends and stuff, and I play here in person and go to cons. It's wherever, you know. I think the reason why I think it's one of the greatest, or if not one of the greatest role-playing games, is for the fact that it allows me to use other systems, other people's ideals, other people's content easily without much conversion. So really, all I had to come up with is a good imagination, honestly. And that's the key to it, I think, you know.
I want to join Guardian's game.
No, I've been in his game before. It's a hoot.
No, he says I like playing CNC in a van down by the river.
Yep, no, that's right. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely.
That's what I want to do.
He lives in Missouri at St. Louis. It's right near anyway. Yeah, it's a great time. But yeah, that's basically what I can say about that, Odd Man. I enjoy playing it wherever I can, and I like the fact that I can just use, like, for example, I got this in the other day. These right here. Oh, I'm not on camera, but I got a couple of these North Texas things from Bill Barsh. They're limited adventures. I can take this and play it right now. I don't even know what system it is, but it's CNC. Yeah. I play it CNC.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So we just had Chris Farley and Dan Aykroyd brought up in the stream. That is awesome.
Oh,
those are two of my favorite SNL alums.
That's funny.
It was gut wrenching when I heard that Chris Farley had crossed.
Oh, I know. He was so awesome, man. I tell you, it's hard to find. We grew up lucky. We grew up with a lot of good music, a lot of good comedy. God, we grew up with some good stuff. You know?
Oh yeah. Anchor said I played once in a tent near a lake. Does that count? I do remember once we went camping and we brought all our gaming shit and we tried to get it. It didn't work. We had our card table set up and the wind was blowing and paper. It was just a mess. It didn't work.
We went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina one year. This was during high school. We were all 18, but hadn't graduated yet, or some of us might have graduated. All I remember is we took all of our shit down there thinking we were going to game and hang out in the motel room all week. That's not what happened. Once we found the first strip club and the clubs down there, nightclubs, that shit laid in the corner the whole time we were gone. We never rolled the first dice.
There you go.
We were young.
At the moment, I'm watching SNL season 2, 1976, and nice. Question: what is the memory for CNC that sticks out you or a player? Did I say I like to ask a lot of questions? Yeah, questions are great. I don't know. There's so many of them that they kind of merge after a while. And usually for me, it's when those impossible things are in front of you and someone rolls the nat 20, or they even come up with a great idea. Coming to mind without thinking about it too much, we had an almost TPK in my Thursday night game. Everyone was getting annihilated. I won't go into the big giant backstory for it, but everyone was getting just annihilated. Character after character was dropping and dying. And there were still when Todd was the only one left, and there were several hags still left, several giants. I think the hellhounds had gotten killed. and some other various and sundries moving about the battlefield. And Todd knew most of his hit points are gone. There's no way he's going to make it. So it's either do the final stand or whatever. And I remember very distinctly as I was describing to kind of recap the annihilation of the party, Todd was over there and he's got this. He keeps his notes for his character for Stark on this yellow notepad paper. He's just going through his notes to see, what does he have to turn the tide? What can he do? And he had one of those little metal or stone magical horses, ion stones. I can't remember what they're called. And he pulls it out and he says, I pull my stone horse out, and he throws it to the ground. It turns into a horse. He leaps upon the horse and he rides off, escaping everybody. Everybody pursued him, but the horse was too fast, and he got away so that he could resurrect everyone from the party, which was just cool because it's one of those things that talking about death was on the line. The game was just about to be over because if Todd dies, there's no one to resurrect them. Everybody is just, hag food. And but he found that one little notation of a magic item that he picked up and forgot that he had, which was just I love that type of stuff at the table. Absolutely love it.
That's good.
Yeah, figurines of Wondrous Power. That was it.
Those are fun. You can get really creative with those if you want to. Have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah,
I once gave someone one that was a Lobane orc. They didn't know that. But,
nice.
It's cursed.
Screaming Biscuit says, Arid has quickly become a favorite setting for me. That's very nice of you to say. I'm glad that you're diving into it. Obviously, it's my favorite setting. I shouldn't say obviously, but it is my favorite setting. Greyhawk is real close because I'm a huge Greyhawk fan. But I just like how Arid. I just like the middle behind it.
No lie. You know this well. When I first came to work for the company, I wasn't using Arid. I was still using Forgotten Realms, I think. And then I sat down and started reading it, and I haven't read anything but Arid since.
I think that, and this was intentional, but the depth of history in Arid gives you so much more for your player character and for the CK that it's very, very helpful.
And you've got
Guardian says,
I'm sorry. Ahead. I was gonna say you've got some unique historical points to play in too. You've got before, during, and after, right. And future.
We're going to do a Winter Dark setting eventually. We are definitely going to do that.
I want to do that because I think that would be dark and evil. Anyway,
yeah. Guardian says, way back in Scouts, we played D&D in an abandoned homestead in a prairie. We hiked 10 miles through the forest to reach full. And that is badass.
Yeah,
that's cool. Just cool.
That's really good.
I fell in love with Aird's Winter Dark folio back in the day. Yes, Piper, you've been on board forever and a day. We still need to get that adventure from you. But Piper used to run tournaments for us at Gen Con.
He's going to start running some more for me or us soon. But man, that Winter Dark thing would be great because I know it's no comparison. I know I'm making a bad comparison saying Tainted Lands, which is totally different. But you know what I'm saying. The idea of having almost a horrific setting within that setting is mind-blowing if you think about it.
Yeah. Well, and there's other thematic things. I mean, someone asked me at the booth the other day, I think it was at the booth, to describe the Undying War, which is the modules A0 through A12.
Mm-hmm.
And the Undying War is basically Coburg is trying to rebuild his master's empire, but it's not that. The first 3 or 4 adventures have almost nothing to do with that. But you also find out there's a whole love story behind it. So Arid has a little bit of that kind of classic stuff in it. That for those CKs who want to go in that direction can snatch it and go, and they don't have to focus on the.
If you want to, it's just like with Rob Jingo that runs the Sunday game for us on the channel here. If you wanted to stick to traditional knights and medieval, he's doing a whole campaign in Camar, and it's just filled. It reeks with King Arthur and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
which is ironic because that's what I had talked to Jason about for a board game for TLG. I got all kinds of things cooking. Did you look at my product schedule today, Chuck?
I did. I was disappointed.
Why is that?
There was something missing from the legend.
What was missing?
The lowercase red O.
Red O?
Yeah, there's tons of check marks, but just red O's. We don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's the same as an X, red X, but you just put
I see.
I wasn't 100%. It wasn't 100%. And I was trying to do shit with it, and it wasn't an Excel file, so I couldn't
the X is to it. the X, when you put X's in those charts, it makes it too.
No, I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. But I had to just make a joke of that. But yeah, I did go through it. I did. I most certainly did.
You can check out the. Oh, excellent, Peter. Thank God. I will do that then. And Grace moved it to some
nice.
online platform. She sent me an invite. I got to figure all that stuff
For
out.
what?
Grace moved it to some kind of online platform. I don't know what.
Moved what?
The product schedule.
Oh,
what we're talking about.
Okay, I got you. I didn't know.
Oh, I know you didn't know. I just told you. I didn't know until she told me like an hour ago. Chuck does not like to be outside of the loop.
Overwatch, baby. Overwatch.
That's right. That's right. Or is it what was the other name? Oh,
yeah, fucking funny. Yeah, jokes.
This guy. I poked through the Codex of Air a few times. It's in my pile of shame. So much to read. So I'm not going to lie. If for those of you who have seen the Codex, or those of you who have not, it's dense. I mean, it's got 250,000 words in it, and almost fully. What Chuck is it? Half of it, I think, is just the history of the world. Right. So you're talking 125,000 words. That's 150 pages or 125 pages, whatever it is. It is dense, and it takes a little bit to get into. But you really don't have to read it narratively. You can read those parts that you want or whatever.
Oh, totally.
And we try to give you the information that you need to get started, to dive into it.
Yeah, because I use it. I mean, I read it sometimes, just for the literary part of it. Like the stories. Well, I was saying I read a lot of the stories and stuff in there because, like, I found there was some shit I ran across last week in there that I was going to ask you about that blew my mind. That was down in Cluny because I'm trying to really, you know what I mean? It's just funny how you'll find this stuff after you've read through it. I was going back and I wasn't rereading it like for entertainment. I was looking for some research, and that's how I found it. So it's kind of, you kind of have to read it different ways. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things that went into the design of the world of Air and the Codex of Air, when I played Greyhawk so heavily, and I did that, I mean, for several decades, I just wanted more kind of threads to go, to get into whatever the Great Kingdom or whatever, and do something a little bit more with. So when I wrote the histories and I wrote the this guy's the king of the governments and the militaries and all that, I tried to just lace it with adventure hooks everywhere. Right. Because I know that's what we do. All of us here in this room do, is we run adventures, either in them or we are actually running them. And it's just good to be able to have some kind of thread, especially, and Chuck knows this because he's been DMing forever. When you're halfway through a campaign, you need to shift a little bit. You just need something. Open a book. Okay, I'm going to do this. Do that for a couple of minutes.
One of my favorite things to use out of the Codex for plot hooks.
Yes. Dardian.
What's that? Oh, Dardian.
Dardian, time for another transfusion.
Yes. I keep looking for this damn book and it's right here. In the back, Steve has, actually it's not in the back anymore. We moved that around. It is, where would it be at? Because I like to go and find and use the timeline that you've got.
Yeah.
Because the timeline will reveal things that is not necessarily obvious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I find some of the weird shit. Is I'll be reading the timeline, I'm like, wait, what is that? Then I'm digging back.
There's a little bit of timeline that clarifies stuff that's not really clear in the text.
Right.
Yeah, the timeline is very good.
Yeah, the annals of days. That's it. It's insane.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is amazing to read in here, dude. I'm just telling you. I forget what it was I ran across that just blew my mind. There was something I was like, what is this? I could do a whole adventure series on this one freaking entry. Like you could do a series of adventures on the Stone Wars. You know what I mean?
Or whatever.
You could do
the Stone Curse, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that really, and for most of us, we just need a little bit of, just a little bit of juice to go, and then we can build our own stuff. And that's kind of what it's designed. Anchor says, what should I get to get started while I wait for CNC Reforged? I would say stuff that's ready, that's already in print, and we can ship tomorrow. Line in the Ropes or Heart of Glass. Heart of Glass is slightly higher level. I think. I'm pretty sure it's higher. I think it's like third or fourth. But Line in the Ropes will get you started immediately in playing a game. And it's already been converted to Reforged. And
everything on the store, I think, is 100% OGL free and converted Reforged, I think. I'm almost 100% as far as adventures go.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do, is only put stuff
Yes.
That's done.
So if somebody says I'm missing this, the reason why it's not, it must go through that vetting, and we have some changes to make, so we had to do those prior, right? So that's why.
And they're not much, but that's Jeremy's job. And right now, well, actually, he finished the Monsters and Treasure. He finished that.
Yeah, I know. He sent me a message one night. Done.
So yeah, well, it was no easy task that he.
No, it's not. It was amazing. Did have a question from Odd Man. Odd Man said, "What is a good or bad? What is a good or bad thing that you see that players do and you see in CNC? What is something that you see often that's good and bad from players?"
And I've managed a workaround for this some years ago. The most absolute frustrating thing I have as a CK is when you give information via role playing or a letter or whatever to one character and they don't share it with the other characters, the other players, whatever. And then so you've got this key piece of information that you've put out there and it doesn't go anywhere because that one player is either thinks it's for themselves, and that's usually the case, or they want to guard this information so that they control how the party reacts to it. That drives me crazy because I usually give information like that away so that someone will do something on, based on that information. So what I started doing years ago is just never give it to one person ever. And I always give it to two people. Like if it's role playing out, I'll make sure someone else hears it or hears parts of it. If it's a message, I'll say, both of you see this message here, and one of you pick it up. But that is probably the most frustrating because it just, and I get why players do it. I mean, I don't think anyone does it maliciously, but well, sometimes they do. Sometimes people are just asses, but when the information just stops and you as the GM, CK, whatever, you're sitting there going, like the whole campaign is built around that. Yeah, kind of a pain. How's Maine pronounces it? Like it is like the state. Yes. When the worst thing players do is when you give them important information, they don't pay attention. They don't care about the information. No, absolutely, Manfred is very frustrating. 500 session. Who's the PP? Yeah, it's just funny. I mean, it's frustrating, but information is just one of the things that I'm horrible at. And this is specifically for Castles and Crusades. I can speak to no other game systems, but Mac and Davis were very, very vehemently opposed to just checking for everything. And they say it in the Player's Handbook several times. Do not ask players to make a check if you want them to succeed at this thing. You might want to describe it and describe their reactions and all that crap, but don't make them make a check because if they do and they fail, it's a problem. But I just kind of instinctively make people make checks for almost everything. I've been working on that the last couple of years to try to ratchet that back and just say, yeah, you get across the river because there was a bridge. But so, something that they just succeeded.
Yeah, well, I'll typically try to, it's according to the situation, you know that. But usually if it's something that warrants it, I'll try to get them just to role play it out instead of having to check. Well, tell me how you do it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
How do you get over the bridge or whatever?
Right. Yeah. Because it's
not. I just instinctively just make them make checks. I don't know.
Well, no, it's always been there. Did you read the questions about Maine?
Yeah, I answered that. It is pronounced Maine. Yeah.
Did you read the one before it about Maine?
I did not.
Okay. Airmile asks, when is that Maine expansion book getting done?
So I'm working on, that's the one I'm working on, actually. I was about to say, I'm in the Gelderland at the moment.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got to finish up C0 and the novella, and then I'll finish that one probably in the next 90 days. That one should be on Finn's desk editing. That is the plan. So I think that's reasonable. So I'm not going to say anything because I'll jinx the whole company, and I got to stop doing that. We got yet another set of hands on deck, which will free up more of my time. That's what I will say. It's going to take about 2 weeks for him to learn. I got to teach him how to work stuff. I say that it's not going to take him 2 weeks. He's already got the binder down and he's got the cutter down. So it's not going to take that long to. Dakota's smart. He's a smart fellow.
Just need to keep him from taking so many damn naps during the day. Other than that, he's doing really good. He's doing fantastic.
These youngins, they got to sleep all the time.
The youngins.
That's Dakota leaving now. So yeah.
I'm waiting on the Connecticut expansion.
There you go.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I swear to God.
When is
is
the
the river?
river
But yeah.
That was on Davis. If I wrote it, it would just be "You Drown." So
You drown. Rivers rise, people drown.
Yeah,
Like rocks
That's
fall,
it.
people die, kind of thing. Copy machines aren't that hard. Peter. I wish he was here to hear that right now. That's funny.
The cool thing about having Dakota on deck as well, and it's going to take him a little bit to learn this stuff, is like the pocket.
Oh, of course.
I'm going to go get one of those so people know what the hell I'm.
Oh yeah. Have we talked? Are we still going with what we talked about?
Oh, good God, I don't know. What did we talk about?
Well, last I talked to you about, I told you my opinion was just to take strips, a couple of big rectangle strips, slap them on there, and move on.
Oh,
For the adhesive, You know what I mean?
I don't know. They're wandered off somewhere.
I was talking about as far as the adhesive goes.
For what now?
For those folders. Is that what you're talking about? The pocket folders?
No, not at all. I'm talking about the little
Jesus.
digest.
Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Hold
The
on.
little bitty digest books we did years ago. You know, they're like 5 inches,
Oh, yeah.
4 inches.
No, I'd love to have a whole set of them. I've been trying to get them, but they're too expensive to get online. So
Yeah, and we stopped making them because I didn't know how to do it, but I guarantee you Dakota will figure out how to do it. I guarantee it. And that's part of his job, is to figure this stuff out and bring some of this stuff back. I'll abstract the rest of the levels. Should only take about 15. I know. Yes. That'll tie into when I get back on the Codex of Planes, which should be in the next few months. I'm really, I'm very, very excited about what's unfolded in the past 2 weeks, and the next week or so will be as decisive as we start finishing up these products and getting them to the printers. I signed the quotes for these, so we got slots uploaded. The Chronicle Keeper's Guide. I'm just super jazzed on this stuff. They are too small. Yeah, they are very small. And what Peter wants to do, and I don't know if you remember this, Peter, he's in the room. That's, for those of you who don't know, Raven Child art there in the chat is Peter Bradley. He is our art director. He has been with Troller Games since 2003 or 4 or something like that, and drawn like 12,000 pictures. I don't know. It was a billion pictures or something. And Peter never really liked what we did with the books. What we did is we took like the Player's Handbook and we shrank it down 60%. I can't remember now. And put it in a pocket. I wish I could find one of those damn things. Put it in a pocket digest sized book. But the font turns out to be like 4 font or something. So we made magnifying glasses for you to use as you were reading these things, if that's what you needed to do. But Peter always wanted to do it properly, to take the text and kind of lay it out that way. So we'll see. I don't know if that's that much is in the cards, because that's a whole other thing. But we are looking at bringing back the flip books, and I am going to ask Peter to relay the books out for that. So maybe the pocket books are going to get a little bit of love and be readable all at the same time.
Were they any smaller than the trade paperbacks? They're about the same size, isn't it? Right?
The trade paperbacks.
The books that we have now, the ones we were just talking. You were talking about a couple weeks ago. 5, 6 or whatever it is.
You mean the like the fiction books?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller than that.
Are they? Okay, because I think those are half pagers, though, aren't they? They're probably 5.5 by.
I don't know what I did with them. There was about 25 of them.
What, the flips?
No, the digital. I mean, the pocket size.
The digest. That's what I meant. I don't know why I said
the digest. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm curious about that, because it's interesting. I did not a whole rabbit hole while you were at Gen Con about the whole thing about sizing books. You know what I discovered at the end of it?
What's that? There's no
No, I mean, not really. You're talking about a half-inch difference, man, to define this stuff. That's ridiculous. So I was like, whatever. Trade hardback. How you like that? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on a rant. Sorry.
Manfred says I ran a game with them for several years. They were handy, but last I looked at them, they're just too small.
Oh, I'm sure for yeah, for sure. Yeah, but what we're going to do is we're going to release one for each chapter. That way we have a nice font,
There you go.
Then you have to buy the 15 set,
Yeah, exactly. Just to get the player's handbook.
Dude, we'll have a key ring. We'll have a custom key ring about this big, and you put the books on there, and
We
you
just
just
hold them all.
yes.
You know, it's funny, as Dakota was cleaning out the print shop today, he found the hole punch, which is an industrial strength hole punch.
Oh, I've heard stories
the-
about this thing. You've told me about this.
Yeah,
before.
in the print shop, which is how we made the Monsters and Treasures binder book.
Right.
And it's funny when I talk to people, because in 25 years we have done almost every form. I was just thinking, the player's handbook we had specifically designed for the iPhone for a while. I mean,
I remember that. We've done some crazy shit. Crazy
a
shit.
little bit of everything. But ironically, the most popular variant, I should say, of anything that we've done is the flip book. The flip books, just everyone loved them, except me. I didn't care for them, but
Because you had to try to print them. That's why it was a pain in the ass.
I don't know. I don't like the flip books. It's just
but you don't use news books. Let's face it. Come on, man.
I don't understand. Okay, so everyone out there who loves flip books, this is what I don't understand. So let's just say this is a flip book, right? Why can't you just? Now I'm in the monster book. Why do you gotta flip it? Why do you want it flipped? Why can't you just have there's the player's handbook and then there's the monster book? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Got a question. Got a question from.
I quit making fun of flip books.
It's from Instagram. From Ancient Vault Eldritch Secrets. Is there any interest in third-party products by TLG, Adventures, Beastries, etc., etc., etc.?
Yeah, always go to our website. I think under home.
I got it right here. There's the link right here. Look.
Okay. But do keep in mind that we've got to update a lot of that stuff, but that'll give you kind of an idea of
what we're updating is because we've actually removed the OGL, so we had to change some language and stuff. But
yeah, the removal of the OGL is we thought it was going to be like removing a bullet, but it's more like removing shrapnel.
Yeah.
So
that's a very good analogy. I like that. That's good. I like that.
Flip books are great. So you hit about 6 years old.
Yeah. That's the problem with all this stuff is we're getting older, but we got to think about the younger generations. They need flip books. They need digest books, you know?
I will tell you, the number of comments on people saying they love the flip book. And I think there's probably I'm an idiot and it is easier to actually do that.
I'm not going to call you that. I work for you, but you make your own conjectures.
So my disdain of the flip book, I guarantee you, is on a false premise. So,
Screaming Biscuit asks, when can I buy the Codex Infernum and Exaltum? I need them now.
Yeah, I need them now too. My game has got high.
You need them for your Codex of the Plains.
Yes, I do. It is a problem. And the art, I cannot express how cool the art is. It is just, Zoe's just knocked it through the park. So I just want all that stuff to be out. I just want it all out. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, man.
Did you see what Ben Adams said? Ben Adams and I said, if we get flip books, then we should also have binder, monster, and treasure. People want that damn binder so bad.
So that's funny you should say that, because who said that?
It was Ben Adams night. Said
it. Ben Adams. It's funny you should say that, because while we were looking at that the industrial hole punch thing, I was telling Dakota, with Dakota back on board, that's something we can bring back, because now we've got a printer doing this full time, and we can bring back some of these items that I don't want to say they're novelties, because they're legitimate. I mean, if we could figure out, and Peter, this falls on your desk, if we could figure out a way to make it to put a monster on a single sheet of paper, then the alphabetizing becomes genius, and you can put your own monsters in there. Page tears out, you print it.
We could do it if you.
There's no end.
I'm just saying we could, for that, potentially do a tribute throwback to AD&D and set it up like that, the layout where it looks like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had. I don't know if you saw the binder. But the binder was specifically designed to look like the second edition AD&D.
Yes, but the pages within were not. I'm talking about using the pages within. Then you've got it.
Yeah, the problem is we just did the monsters and treasures as is, so you can't alphabetize anything really logically. You can marginally alphabetize. That was about it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yep, there you go.
Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, Juan Cholo from YouTube asks, with the removal of the OGL, are kobolds now little blue-skinned miners?
Oh, okay. Oh crap!
Yeah, we gotta go. I know we gotta go.
All right, so what was this last question?
Are kobolds now little blue-skinned miners?
No, they are not. They are. I believe it's red and wicked looking. The cobalt is just one wicked looking. It is spaghetti time, Tyler. But yeah, the cobalt is just absolutely wicked looking. We do have to wrap this up. I had the AD&D binders as a child. Unfortunately, they were lost.
The last question of the night is going to be from Phantom NJ. Will the Codex of the Plains contain additional information regarding the Rings of Brass? Because there's been a lot of people talking on Discord about Rings of Brass.
Yes. There's a whole section on that to make it very playable. That's the whole, absolutely.
Well, that's fantastic.
Because that's going to tie things together. Amazing Adventures aired, all kinds of stuff. Barsoom, all kinds of stuff. All right, folks, we're gonna get out of here. I did not realize it was so late. Thank you all for showing up. I absolutely love this stream. This is just a great afternoon, a great way to wind things down. Chuck's going to raid us out of here.
Yep, I'm going to raid us into Robert Hartley. He's on, so I figure we'll raid into Rob. He's a nice fellow. We collaborate with from time to time.
You do as well, Savage Splendor, Wolf Alone, Ben Adams, everybody. We will see you. Tomorrow or Thursday.
Did that go off?
I
don't think it went off. Hold on a
minute. Nothing went off.
Yeah, it's okay.
Come on, Overwatch.
I know. It's called caps lock.
I'm going to try to make it stick.
Oh, that's why. Hold on a minute. I'm an idiot.
See you later, Commander.
Too many damn windows open, Steve. Hey.
I know that story.
There we go. I was trying to raid. I was typing the command in his channel. So, all right. So we're going to raid out to Robert Hartley. If you guys are curious about our Twitch schedule, this is the normal schedule that we have. Yeah, we've not raided out yet. Right there we go. If you guys want to check it out, I'll be back in the morning running my morning stream talking about my projects and just answering basic TLG questions. Night Overlord. So you guys go over and give Rob a follow if you would. He's a great content creator. He lives over in Australia. He's pretty popular. You'll notice he's probably got a big crowd watching him. And we'll see you guys in the morning maybe. If not, we will be back Thursday afternoon with a crew. Maybe doing a little Gen Con wrap up. Anyways, we'll catch you guys later. And just really appreciate you for all your support and hanging out and watching us. And yeah, welcome to all those from Instagram. I think that works pretty good. So I think we'll be able to keep Instagram going. That'll be good.
Excellent.
All right.
My spaghetti.
Yeah. Well, we're going to raid out of here. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you. Or we'll see you.